There we go.
It's the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space. Now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the War Report Podcast Live. Hosted by Vince Berry. Not here right now. Hopefully he'll be joining us. Kat may jump in. Eric will be off. The chairman, who knows? But we have the return of Amanda. So thank you for coming. It's so good to see you. We miss you around here, but it's always nice when you pop in and give us all a nice surprise. How's everything going?
Just taking it day by day over here in lockdown state.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what you were telling me. I didn't realize what was going on in Canada.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's especially when you think about here how now they're announcing even younger can start getting vaccinated. They're opening up more facilities to get it done, and so I'm hoping it gets to you sooner than later so you guys can get protected. I mean, even with all the vaccines around here, there's still cases are still on the rise again here too. So, but we have all these variants to deal with, and who knows if they're being affected at all by the vaccinations that we're getting.
Yeah.
But I kicked off the show this evening with a little RVD. As you all probably are aware, it has recently been announced that Rvd and Kane are going to be joining the Hall of Fame cast for 2021. Very happy for both. Rvd, no matter what, he's always been just a great talent in the ring, and he was doing shit way before a lot of other people had the balls to do it, even going back to ECW days. And then you have Kane, who, how do you have a Hall of Fame without Kane? We're not talking Isaac Yankem, but when he was Kane, I mean, and he'll be the first to tell you if it wasn't for Undertaker, Kane wouldn't have been. But I'm sure by now everyone's seen there is a video circling the internet where Undertaker, Mark, called Kane to inform him, and he got choked up. It was cool.
I didn't see that. I gotta watch that.
If I'm sure I have it. I might have even shared it at one point. I'll find it. I'll send you the link. But it's a really cool video because Taker's in his car driving, and he just calls up Kane, and he's in like his government office, at his desk, and and he starts talking about the Hall of Fame, and then he goes, I'm calling to inform you that you have been selected to go into the Hall of Fame class of 2021, and I couldn't be happier. And he starts to get a little choked up, and he starts talking about, thank you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where Kane would have never been what it became. And it was just a cool moment. If I can find it during the show, I'll play it. It's 3 or 4 minutes long. It's nothing crazy, but it's a very cool moment. And so I would assume Undertaker is going to be the inductor, right? I mean, that would make the most sense. It's not like, unfortunately, Paul Bear's not around. So I think that's the only thing that makes sense. Plus, it gives everybody Undertaker, so that's cool. We get a little moment. But yeah, so I'm excited for this class. And then they did announce tonight Bill Shatner is going into the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. How do we feel about that?
Celebrity Hall of Fame is such a like stretch for. It's just such a reach, I think. Like, there's so few celebrities that I think should be inducted, and just because you were on a WWE programming or made it to a pay-per-view, I don't think that qualifies you to be in a Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah. Like somebody like Snoop Dogg, I could understand. Well, the sports announcer, I forget his name. Like those type of people, I get it. They were involved. They did other things besides just be like a character.
Right.
But
I mean, in my opinion, and I'm doing this for Eric also. It's about 2 minutes long, but in our opinion, this is the only fucking reason that he's getting into the Hall of Fame. Are you ready?
Wednesday at 10 on USA.
It's not the commercial.
You've heard his spoken word dramatic readings of such songs as Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Rocket Man. Now, Emmy and Golden Globe winning actor, novelist, and musical genius William Shatner finally speaks the lyrics of your favorite WWE superstar entrance themes.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drive the girls wild. I got the moves that really moves them. I send chills up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy.
And what about this timeless classic?
Your time is up. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now. It's a franchise, boy. I'm shining now. You can't see me. My time is now. Wow, 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 wow. Booyaka! 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 619. Rey Mysterioso.
that one's the best.
Booyah!
It's time to play the game.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know.
So you get the idea. But it was, I get it. You know, it's the Hall of Fame celebrity wing is really just for fun.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I can appreciate that. It's just, it is what it is. But, everyone makes it to the Hall of Fame. Where's the story? I mean, listen, she's right. There are some celebrities that have story. Like, Pete Rose, right? There was a story with Pete Rose. The poor guy took like 15 fucking choke slams from Kane year after year after year, put him in the Hall of Fame. Like you said, Snoop Dogg makes sense. Even Donald Trump, it made sense. He had he had a few storylines with Vince, and he wasn't half bad when he was doing WWE shit. I won't go any further than that, but you get the idea. So there are some where it makes sense. But this Facebook user then says the chicken and the egg at Survivor Series in the 80s, did he make it in yet? Whoever was under the costume, I'm sure in some way, shape, or form is probably in the Hall of Fame somewhere. But it's but either way, I think this year overall, I think it's shaping up pretty nicely. I'm very happy for Molly Holly. She's definitely a woman that sure deserves to be in there. I wonder who else. I don't even know how many they're going to do this year. It's not. I know the Bellas aren't going to be in there because they're talking about making a comeback now and going after the tag team titles. I've seen video that they're apparently training.
There was she posted a photo where it looked like she was at the Hall of Fame, and it said something about like dreams come true or something like that.
Well, listen, you know what? I may be wrong in the sense that maybe they are still going to get inducted. It doesn't really mean that they can't, wrestle anyway and become champions. Being in the Hall of Fame doesn't necessarily mean you're retired.
No.
It's Medulla. That's being the user. Oh, very nice. Cool, man. Well, always love when you participate. But yes, I'm sure that the person under the A costume is probably in there somewhere. Vinny Mac is joining us. Hey, Vince, welcome to the show.
Hey, it took me an hour and a half to get a new phone at the Apple store so they can suck.
Oh, shit.
Hi, guys. Anyway, I'm back. And I had an appointment.
Well, Amanda and I have been holding it down. We're talking. We've kicked it off talking about the Hall of Fame and how we're pretty excited about how it's shaping up this year for the most part. Bill Shatner. We played a little of Shatner's greatest singing moments. RVD, of course, is great. Kane is great. We were talking about that. But overall, yeah, I think it's shaping up pretty nicely. What do you think?
I mean, the actual Hall of Fame of like real wrestlers who are going in, great. William Shatner, I could give a shit about. Titus winning the Warrior Award. I guess if you kiss your son on the mouth on national television, you should
Wait,
get something
who?
in that.
Yeah, apparently Titus O'Neil is getting the Warrior Award.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, listen, I don't see there's anything wrong with it per se, but I think there's other people that are deserving more than Titus O'Neil right now, quite honestly.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I get that he does a lot for charity and everything, but I liked how they chose people outside of the company and outside of wrestling even for the award.
Right. It made it more special in that way.
Why would they just give it to Shad Gaspard?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now that would have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Medulla has another question. He wants to know how we feel about the whole Bad Bunny gimmick. Mike, we will get there. Trust me when I tell you. I think it's fucking horrible, but we'll get to the details of that. It's coming. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. Have you heard about anyone else that's going to be going in?
Well, they're still honoring last year's inductees.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bellas are going to go in then.
Yeah.
And as far as I know,
Because they're
Bellas
training apparently to come back now and go for a tag title
Who
run.
cares? I don't care. I don't care about them. I wish I could care. They're innovators. The Bellas and Stephanie McMahon fucking invented women's wrestling, of course.
Right.
Unbelievable. No, I mean, good for the Bellas. They were crossover stars from wrestling into reality TV and other stuff.
And the show was very successful.
They were ambassadors for the WWE. I completely understand why they would go in the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to say they're undeserving or anything. It's not a ring work Hall of Fame. There's the Cauliflower Alley Club, and then there's the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, and both of those are for good workers. This is the WWE Hall of Fame. It's not the Good Worker Hall of Fame. There's a big difference.
Can we talk about Bad Bunny now?
Well, we can, but there's one thing right before we talk about that. We also, since we've been off in the week, the Road Dogg suffered a heart attack.
Yeah.
And was rushed to the hospital. The good news is I did get a notification right before the show that he is on his way home. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad to see that, he's home. Hopefully he's going to make a full recovery, but just wanted to point that out. It sucks.
Yeah, you hate to hear about somebody like that. He's not that old of a guy anyway. It really stinks to hear somebody who's a, fairly young guy having such problems. So,
but the good news is he seems to be okay. Hopefully there won't be any long-lasting, effects or anything like that.
I certainly hope so. It's, people are down on Road Dogg because of him being an agent and all this other stuff. There's certain things like, they blame Road Dogg for certain things that happen on SmackDown or whatever. It's like, listen, whatever the job is, I don't care. It's his job. I'd rather, his health is his health and his job is his job. Those are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to talk about Bad Bunny.
But
So,
I
we're
really
gonna
wish
talk
I could
about
be
Bad
brought to
Bunny.
care about
We're
Bad
going to
Bunny.
talk about Bad Bunny. Yes, we are.
All
Is
right.
this in a good way or a bad way, Amanda? I don't know where you're.
A good way. I don't see why people have a problem with him. Like, I don't understand why people would have a problem bringing the biggest, one of the biggest musicians in the world right now, who is a lifelong WWE fan, who has credited the WWE in many, many instances, not just with the Booker T song, but in many of his songs, he pays tributes to WWE and their superstars. So I don't see why there's a big deal that the guy's just living his dream. That's like saying if you were a fan and you got the chance to go on WWE and do these stupid gimmicks, you'd say no.
All right. That's very fair, and I give you that. I don't. It may be a writer's thing, quite honestly. You know, the fact is he was there for how long, didn't get involved in any way. Now, granted, that might be a safety thing. Like, I'm sure he was still training and getting ready. And listen, at the end of the day, WWE is not going to let you really do anything physical unless they're confident that, you know, you're not going to hurt yourself or somebody else. Although I will say the way he clocked Miz, that looked pretty damn solid. But, you know, I don't not like him. I don't like the story, for one. I don't. There's a few things I don't like, but it's.
See, I think out of that whole story, I think Miz and John Morrison are the two that are killing that story. Unfortunately.
That video, by the way, was absolutely hilarious. Hilarious.
It was awful.
Of course it was awful, but that's what made it funny to me. Like, you knew it was going to be awful. You know what I mean? But
no, their other video was like funny and good. This one was just no. Like, how do you go from being a WWE champion to wearing a bunny suit?
That's the problem.
I can't argue that.
In the middle of feuding Bad fucking Bunny, the Miz wins the WWE title, cashing the Money in the Bank, and then nothing came of it. just to say Miz was a 2-time world champion or whatever the fuck it was. Like, I don't know. You would think that you would have a plan.
Mm-hmm. No
with your
plan.
Money in the Bank and all.
Raw has zero plans. Like, that's just their thing. Is like they have no plans for anyone ever.
No, because they tried to. They did try to plans. Unfortunately, all their plans are around everybody except women's world champion. And that was everybody else. Lacey and Charlotte and this one now. They were thinking about all these ways that Asuka wasn't going to be the and yeah, it's just,
Amanda, is Vince in and out to you?
Yeah, I can't hear a thing.
All right, it's not just me.
All right, I'm gonna try to fix that then.
Yeah, we're hearing every other word, and I didn't know if it was on my end or your end. I'm sorry, bro.
You do your thing.
All right, so I don't know. You're making a lot of valid points. I can't argue any of them.
Right.
I don't really know what it is. I mean, I think Ryan's right. Ryan just made a comment. He dislikes the fact that the Miz has gone from being a champ to jobbing to a music star.
Right.
I kind of get that. Like, that's kind of what my issue is. And it's nothing against him, but it's like, I even said, I mean, this is, I guess you can't really compare the two, but I even said, you know, I don't like the fact that Rhea Ripley gets called up and now all of a sudden her first night she's challenging at the main event at WrestleMania for the title. Yeah. I just think that's a little too soon. You can't really compare the two. It's one's for a title, one's not. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have my reservations, although I think he's going to surprise a lot of people because I know he's been putting in the work and I do know he's a fan. And I think he's going to actually pull out some cool shit at Mania. That's just my gut. And I do think he's going to go over for sure.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be little Bad Bunny fans.
It's whatever. He's fine. There have been worse.
Yeah. It's a lot worse.
I don't have an opinion either way of this guy. He's doing fine.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like his I enjoyed him on Raw this week. I will say that. You know, him coming out, stepping up, knocking Miz out, then really going in the ring and trying to get Miz to come in there and actually fight, and Damian getting out of the way and says he doesn't need me to protect him kind of thing. So I did kind of dig all that. You know, we have to just kind of see what happens. I have very mixed emotions about it, but it's not really necessarily about Bad Bunny, the guy himself. I guess.
I agree. I think that, like, he shouldn't have been against the Miz, who was the fucking champion a minute ago.
Right.
I think
They
the
could
story
just
would have
not
made
made
more
Miz
sense
the
with like Elias or something.
Yeah. But they had
instead of being Shane's bitch.
Yeah. But the Miz is the guy you pick to work with celebrities, you know?
Yeah, he's a safe wrestler.
And he's already kind of like, he's out there. He does media stuff. Like, they know him from things. He's the guy to pick for a celebrity thing. Elias wouldn't have been a bad choice. You do the music. Rap is crap. My acoustic guitar is better. Hit Bad Bunny with the plywood guitar thing.
Yeah.
That could have worked.
So
did they really play charades on Raw last night? Did I miss
That's where I turned it off.
Oh, I see now. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I thought the New Day game show I thought was so funny. But you know what it is too with AJ. Like, AJ's a funny fucking dude. So he plays right in with the New Day.
Miz is the comic relief. Now, if Miz is the comic relief, why is AJ and almost the comic relief?
Well, you can have both.
But is everybody haha jokey except even the goddamn Fiend, who's burned up like a s'more that you dropped in the campfire, is sitting next to him. He's just sitting there, and it's funny. Like, they're doing. Why is everybody funny? It's a wrestling show. Not everybody's funny. It doesn't have to be funny.
I love what they've done with Bliss. I think she looks greater than ever. And I hate what they're doing with the Fiend. I actually like the first Fiend better. And I feel like there's no going back to it. Like, what? He's just going to heal himself? Like, this is what we're getting.
Rey Mysterio's eye healed itself. So
that's true.
Back.
That's true.
So
that is true.
Skin will grow back in a year.
Hey, so Medulla has two questions that we haven't gotten to yet. The first question he has, if we're hearing any surprises for WrestleMania this year. I haven't really heard anything concrete yet myself. What about you guys?
Anything. Just that Shane's going to jump off the steel cage.
Yeah, Shane's doing something stupid.
I broke that news last night.
Kevin, yeah.
I mean, you always got to assume.
Yeah. Breaking news: Kevin Owens is also going to jump off something stupid.
The pirate ship.
He wants to jump off the pirate ship. I think maybe
sure.
they'll allow him to do it.
It would be so fucking great though if they did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I mean, there's some crazy shit's gonna go down for sure. Shane McMahon's gonna do something crazy in that steel cage. Absolutely. I mean, that's
I hate to say the Braun is stupid, but if you wanted Shane to not get away, why would he make a regular cage match?
Yeah.
There's not a lid on it. If he made it a Hell in a Cell, then there's a lid on it.
Well, that does kind of tie into the story, though.
And he had a fucking
stupid.
He had a fake report card from the 1970s or something. What is this shit? What is this shit? And then Matt Riddle. This is when you know the show. They stopped. Here's what happened. NBC gave WWE $1 billion to make content, and now they need to make 10 plus hours of content every week, and they don't care if it's good. It just needs to be recorded. Matt Riddle literally, I'm so upset. He stopped in the middle of a promo and he just says, yeah, I don't know what my line was. Bye, guys, and just fucking leaves. And they left it in the air. That aired live on TV.
What? That was one of the weirdest fucking things I've ever seen.
It was like old. It reminded me of right before WCW went out of business when they filmed something and they just go, fuck it.
you could think that is just part of Matt Riddle's character because they played him into such a stoner.
True.
Yeah.
So you're just
True.
like, well, maybe it was
But
the
he
worst.
stopped.
Maybe it
He
wasn't.
stopped talking. He had the look on his face, like he was like, "Yeah, dude, something about scooters in Japan," and then he's like, "Oh, excuse me, my dear, I must have forgotten my line. I must bid you adieu." And then
No,
fucking
he was just like, no, he just basically said that
yeah, he's like, I don't know.
he was like, I can't do this. He's like, I gotta go.
It just seems it really does remind me of just the dying days of WCW. Like they don't. It feels like nobody on Raw gives a shit about the
Not at
quality of the show.
No, like even their superstars don't give a shit, and you could tell. Like
Braun got covered in green.
But Riddle can get away with it. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But Riddle can get away with it, sure. But like, I don't know. Then they have almost wearing mauve because his favorite color is mauve. Like, I hope this guy can fucking wrestle.
But you
We've
also
never
got
seen him
AJ
wrestle.
Styles.
He's wrestling at WrestleMania in a tag
He
team
does,
match.
excuse me, he does a hell of a two-handed choke slam.
And then AJ Styles is going to sit on his shoulders.
It's a ladder match, right?
Oh, is it a ladder match?
I think
Is
so.
it? Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Maybe I made it a ladder match in my head.
Oh, I mean, it would be a good ladder match.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
know how
they said
almost
it should be a ladder match, and instead of AJ climbs, he climbs almost
Almost.
to win.
So, I heard that Charlotte was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of thought, with a contract signing between Asuka and Rhea Ripley, Charlotte would
That's
show
gonna
up.
make it a 3-way.
Right.
And that didn't happen.
Well,
But
now,
we
so,
got another week. Don't worry.
well, the story that I'm hearing, and I don't know how fucking true it is, but the story I'm hearing is that the reason they took her out of Mania was because WWE was under the impression she was pregnant, and it had nothing to do with COVID. So I don't know what's true or not, but obviously they're pissed off, or they don't know what to do with her now, and they benched her
Right.
2 weeks before WrestleMania. So
It's very strange.
She's gonna get
something's going on.
10 tables by Nia Jax.
But yeah, because now why?
Like, how do you not have WrestleMania without Charlotte doing something?
Yeah. Like a WrestleMania without Becky or Charlotte?
Yeah, and somehow Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are involved with every women's champion and their number one contenders. Like, what the fuck? They're doing the same thing they did on SmackDown on Raw, and they're just gonna
But worse, but like terrible. Like the Wish version of what they did on SmackDown.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I don't know, but
I just don't get it.
here's what I don't get, and I know we talked about this last week, but I'm still mad because now the promos that happened on Friday didn't help alleviate my annoyance with this situation with Edge and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is so now they decided that Edge, returning to WrestleMania after 2 nearly career-ending injuries and almost a decade off, to win the Royal Rumble from number 1, to challenge the head of the table Roman Reigns, being the underdog, the aged veteran. Is he going to be good once as he ever was? Maybe, maybe not. Does the old gunslinger still have one bullet in the chamber? Well, we're never going to find out because now it's a fucking triple threat match.
And you know, I also heard it was Vince's call to make that change because he was afraid that Edge might not be able to go. Like, seriously? The man had a 45-minute match with fucking he won the Rumble.
Edge wouldn't get cheered over Roman Reigns. No.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't Edge get cheered over Roman Reigns? They thought Edge was going to go in as the heel. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense. But here's what further doesn't make sense. Maybe somebody can help me out here. If Edge is supposed to be the bad guy and Daniel Bryan's supposed to be the good guy, why is Daniel Bryan whining and complaining like a bad guy? Oh, I deserve my title shot. No, you got your title shot. Just because it happened immediately after the Elimination Chamber doesn't mean you didn't get it. You got your shot. Kevin Owens got fucking 12 shots. How many title shots are these guys? They're losers. All they do is lose and then demand more title shots. Edge won the fucking Royal Rumble and he can't even get a straight up title shot. All these other guys lost. They lost several times in a row. It doesn't, like, they're not contenders. Daniel Bryan right now is not a title contender based on his win-loss record. Period. Edge won the Royal Rumble. I hate when they do this shit. I hate it. I might not even watch. Like, honestly, I don't even know I'm gonna watch that fucking match. I'm just.
Yes, you are.
Dude, when
You have to.
Abdullah asked if there were any surprises, I was gonna say the surprise will be if I stay awake both nights in a row for this fucking show. God damn it.
It is a lot.
And then, let's not forget we have NXT Stand and then NXT Deliver. And then,
What the fuck?
And then we have
That's Wednesday and Thursday.
Right, and then we have a Hall of Fame on Tuesday. So Tuesday, if I'm getting this right, Monday Night Raw.
3 hours.
Right, and then Tuesday is the Hall of Fame.
That'll be like 8 hours.
Stand and Deliver, Wednesday, Thursday.
4 hours.
What's Friday?
SmackDown.
Son of a bitch, we're still gonna have SmackDown in the middle of all this. And
Yeah.
then
Like,
Saturday, Sunday's WrestleMania.
It's a lot, bro.
And then
I'm not going
Monday
to be able to
Night
watch
Raw.
anything on time. I still have to work.
Yeah. Raw after WrestleMania, and then the news that just broke today, NXT starts on Tuesdays
Right.
as of April 13th. So this is going to be literally like Monday. This is like 9-10 days in a row of WWE programming.
That's insanity.
It's too much. It's
That
way
is
too
way
much.
too much. That
Like-
is oversaturation.
Honestly, it feels like to me now at this point, the WWE stopped feeling like a wrestling company and started feeling more like Tasty or BuzzFeed. And they put up these little fucking videos, and it's like, watch this wrestler play Among Us and then pull on his pecker for a couple minutes. I'm like, I don't know. I want to watch these guys wrestle. I don't give a shit about like your crappy top 10 lists that don't put the right people in, and like, you know, it just feels like content. It doesn't feel like wrestling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my ways. I'm just not. I want to be excited. It's WrestleMania season, and you want to, you're excited about WrestleMania, and of course,
You don't sound very excited.
I'm
I'm
not.
excited for like a couple matches.
But that's the thing.
No, I am too.
We should be excited for way more than that. Like, I want to.
Well, and I think you will.
And Bianca.
That match could steal the show.
That's
Right.
No,
But the
I also
story
think
building up
that
to it stinks.
What was that,
Kevin Owens
Amanda?
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is going to be the match of the weekend.
That could very
Yes.
well be the match of the weekend.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well be.
Mhm. Who knows? Maybe Bad Bunny will be match of the night.
Hey, if Snooki could get match of the night one year,
Oh.
then Snooki might have had the match of the night at WrestleMania 20. Was it 26?
With her backflip thing?
Yeah, she did the Kelly Kelly thing better than Kelly Kelly.
That's funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got time. So yeah, the Fiend thing. Now, what are we? I don't know.
I love what they're doing with Alexa Bliss. I love the darker makeup and the pasty white. I love that.
Mhm.
I hate the look of the new Fiend. I like the original Fiend better. I don't see how they ever go back to the other one. I don't know. I feel too much like a Jason Voorhees kind of thing right now, and like a Friday the 13th.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It feels like it changed. The monster changed to a different type of movie monster for sure.
Right, and I don't know that I love that. I don't know that I love the fact that he was sitting there basically frozen
What the
because
fuck was that
Alexa wasn't controlling. It sounds to me like Alexa has complete full control over the Fiend right now.
So
And it had something to do with that little.
Jack in the Box is the Undertaker.
Well, no, it's called Fiend in a Box.
Oh, of course. It's Fiend in a Box time.
Right.
Fucking Michael Cole will just
Michael Cole will
ram
destroy
that down our
that.
throats. Oh my god. She goes to the Fiend. Use hashtag Fiend in a box during hashtag WrestleMania. Oh.
It'll be trending worldwide.
Yeah, of course. And then the world. I mean, I don't know. It felt like. It really just felt like somebody inhaled a bunch of helium and then wrote a wrestling show last night. I really don't know what was. The whole thing was fucking.
It had
off.
to be one of the worst Raws
Drew.
in years.
What was Drew again? We don't baby. Oh, there's no baby faces. There's no heels. No. Bobby Lashley breaks up the Hurt Business, which was fucking dumb. And then
What the fuck was that about? Like,
Drew
now
goes to
you're
beat
gonna
up
break
Brock
them up?
because he needs to be a bigger heel 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
I get it, but so now.
No, it's
Hate
not.
Bob
No.
Well, no, I get it because that's just something WWE would do, even
yeah.
though it's not necessary. I see that's very frustrating because I really went from not really giving a shit to really enjoying that faction. So what? He's gonna bring in different people now, or
just be done with them.
Or it's just gonna be Lashley and MVP and call it
But
a
then
day.
where did it go? Like, where did Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin go?
Catering.
And are they now gonna be face? Are they gonna stay heel? Are they gonna just be a tag team?
They are going to enjoy well done steak wraps with ketchup, just like Vince McMahon in the catering area. That's all they're going to do.
Dumb.
It just this. You're right. This
Makes
close
no
to
sense.
WrestleMania makes absolutely no sense.
Even if it wasn't WrestleMania, like the Hurt Business was a legit faction that like a lot of people were behind. They looked.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't like them. I didn't care for them at all. But like they looked the part. They dressed the part. They talked
definitely.
the part.
They all had straps at one point.
Yeah,
A very short, stint, but at one point they all had gold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think MVP really did a great job, and I think Lashley too. I think did a really great job with that whole thing, and it's a shame that they pulled it apart already.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I don't understand Drew, and Drew is like I know. It's
Well,
like,
what he's just trying to get an opponent for Mania.
Drew McIntyre is a little bitch.
No, well, Drew was like, I know that Bobby was like, Bobby put a bounty out on him or something, and then,
Right.
But then
And nobody would take him out.
right, and then he like assaulted all these people who didn't want to fight him, like, guys
And then
who
out of
liked him.
everybody, Ricochet's the one that says, "All right, I'll."
It was all to set up Drew McIntyre hitting that Claymore and breaking the fucking guy in half.
Right.
Oh, my camera might have battered.
Poor Ricochet.
I mean, seriously, you have to feel bad for him because he's so talented, and for some reason, they just can't figure out what to do with him. I don't understand that. He's another one that they're just wasting away.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of wasting away, did you guys read through the translated interview with Andrade?
I heard bits that I read bits and pieces of it, not the whole thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Well-
saying what every wrestler says when they leave WWE.
Well, yeah, but what was like the biggest takeaways from it, Vince?
My big takeaway, one of them was that he was making $3 million a year and walked away from it. Which
You must really be miserable if you're walking away from that kind of money, and your wife works for the company or
Right, and that's
fiance
the
or
thing,
whatever.
that was his whole thing. Was like, I'm making such good money. People are like, oh yeah, hey, at least you're here. But he's like, but I'm in catering. It's like,
Yeah.
He referred to it as like being on the bench, like in baseball, you're sitting on the bench waiting for your turn. And that was really
It's a pride thing too, It's like you're sitting there saying, "I've got all this talent, like I'm good at what I
the guy
do."
is legitimately one of
And
the best in the world at this.
right, and they bench me like a fucking like a B
like
team.
a jabroni. Yeah.
Right.
And then the medical stuff with Charlotte was revealed, and then her team, I guess, issued a correction.
So
on
wait,
Twitter.
what exactly was this medical shit? Like what exactly happened?
So Charlotte got some kind of blood work or test done through a WWE doctor who said that she had elevated estrogen or something else, and those are indicators of being pregnant. And WWE sent her a a notice because the doctor tells them that she has elevated estrogen and is likely to be pregnant. WWE issues a medical suspension to Charlotte due to an upcoming pregnancy, and she's like, "Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not showing. I don't feel pregnant. All the other stuff." So she takes multiple urine tests. She takes an additional blood test, and she takes an ultrasound to prove that she's not pregnant. Spoiler alert, she's not pregnant. But the weird thing is Andrade said in the interview that she's not the only women's wrestler to have this happen. What the fuck kind of doctor said, "Oh, you're pregnant," and then
Well, now wait a minute. Is he saying that you're pregnant, or is he saying that your estrogen levels are too high and we just maybe it's too early to tell if you're pregnant yet or not, so we have to bench you? It could be a safety thing. I mean, if it's happening to multiple,
right?
I don't know, Amanda. I may be speaking out of turn. I'm not a woman, but doesn't that sound somewhat realistic?
I just feel like it's not something that a doctor should be saying. Like, if it's happened multiple times, that's a little weird. One time, yeah, you can understand, but like on multiple occasions, if that's true, it's a little fucked up.
Right. Now, see, here's the thing. We're taking an interview from Spanish, translated into English by somebody who's interpreting it. So
Yeah.
it's very possible something was lost in translation, and that what Steve is saying is right. Maybe it wasn't just we are suspending you because you are pregnant. It is, it was because of the blood test and they wanted to get the levels checked out before whatever.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Twitter seemed to indicate that it wasn't the information itself that she was upset about, but the way that she received it. It must have just been one of those things where you open a letter or you open your email and it's just a form letter from Human Resources.
Or the fact that maybe she got notified of this suspension before even hearing the results.
Yeah,
I mean, that could be possible.
But imagine you're a woman and you find out that you're pregnant from like HR. Like, what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if that's truly how it went down, then yeah, that's pretty fucking disgusting, quite honestly.
I mean, the good thing is she's not pregnant, so when she actually does get pregnant, she can find out the right way.
It's only a good thing if they actually do something with her at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, I thought that contract signing was a perfect time for her, but somehow Nia and Shayna came out, and is Rhea Ripley? I don't know. I just don't care. Like, I don't know.
Well, get ready because next week's show we'll have to do our picks. I can't believe it. Like we're really there already, and I'm almost excited because WrestleMania ends and then we start a new year, and hopefully it'll only get better. We get crowds back, and it's not even about the crowds at this point. The writers have to be able to write something that's entertaining.
Well, it's gonna
and the wrestlers have to deliver.
Right. It's definitely a group effort. Like, here's the thing. Seth Rollins is a great wrestler. I haven't given a shit about a single thing he's done since he won or lost by disqualification in a Hell in a Cell match due to him about to using a sledgehammer. And the referee was like, you can't use a sledgehammer in a no disqualification match. You're disqualified.
Yeah, but dude, you can't you can't go after Seth for that though. It's not his call.
He's good. He is a good wrestler. Everything they've done with him since then, I just don't care. This Messiah shit doesn't do it.
I can't stand it.
I hate the Messiah, but like this new suit drippy Seth Rollins, I like it. I'm digging it.
But it's just, I don't know. I'm not.
You know what my problem is? Because he's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
His voice just irritates me. So promos are just, they bother the shit out of me.
I can't watch his promos. And I know that he's a heel, he's a bad guy. But like, can you imagine? And Becky has a thick accent, so maybe that's annoying to live with too. But imagine how annoying it must be to live with. Becky, I want my coffee. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I just, no, it's true. It's his voice. I mean, because it's a shame because he's fantastic in the ring.
Yeah, he's a great wrestler. I can't stand.
That should also be a really good match, him and Cesaro.
Yes. Anything Cesaro should be a good match.
Since Ryan seems to be listening today, and otherwise we'll relay him the message. When the WrestleMania pick'ems come out, Cesaro seems to indicate that he wants to swing Seth Rollins 100 times. How many times will we get 100?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Probably not. I think
Like
you would.
consecutive. Wait, did he say consecutive?
Yeah, he wants to swing him 100 times. Now,
That's
whether
like
that
an
means
hour.
counting to 100,
I'm getting nauseous just thinking about that, quite
right?
honestly.
Yeah, and that would be the worst if you just
What is
after
that?
100 swings you put Seth down and he just throws up.
Oh my god.
But
Ew.
how long would that take?
Way too long.
Like,
If
as
they-
like,
if there
like
was one
watching it, I'd be like,
It would be just about 2 minutes, probably.
2 minutes. That's a long time. I think
Yes.
it would be more.
Well, I mean, if it's 1 second to swing, 100 seconds is less than 2 minutes. But if a full swing takes 2 or 3 seconds,
After
yeah, you're in
50,
for like, you
after
could be in
50,
it
he's
for a
gonna
while.
slow down a bit.
Yeah, it could be. So that could be an unnecessary thing. But it's just funny that he put it out there. And then Seth Rollins on Twitter said something to the effect of, "Now this is a real swing," and it was the picture of him, the gif of him swinging the title around his head after he won at WrestleMania 31. So there's something there with this swing deal. That's, I don't know. There's something happening with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like the matches all sound good. It's just the way we're getting there is just, I don't know.
Typical crappy WWE fashion.
Yep. Oh, Ryan was already ahead of us. He was definitely going to put the swing count on there. Excellent. That's what I like.
Intern's always on top of shit, you know.
He is on top of it. Is he going?
Oh, he's talking shit now too. Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah,
Look at this fucking guy over here talking shit.
Hey, listen, I won last. Did I win last year? I won 1 year. I know I won one of these
all
years.
of them.
I'm nowhere near the worst, so I'm fucking happy.
I'm happy. I'll gladly take the loser belt.
Oh, the
Just don't put-
Divas title. That's right.
Yeah.
Did you miss? I'm trying to figure out how you did so badly. Did you like miss shows or did you?
No, I
Oh no.
just do really badly.
Ah, well.
She
'Cause
goes
I
with
always
her
think
heart.
I go with my heart,
Hey, there you go.
and I can't do that with WWE.
Nope. Oh yeah, Ryan won.
We
last
know,
year.
asshole. We know. We know.
I'm just saying. I would like to remind. Oh, Eric definitely won 1 year.
Did he?
I think Eric won 1 year because I remember. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. We have Ryan has like a belt that we're supposed to send around. We never end up mailing it around to each other because we live so fucking far away. And Eric wanted to sell the belt 1 year when he won it. That was like he wanted to sell it. He was turning heel. He was going to go pawn the belt. I want to say that's what happened, but I'm not sure. But I think Eric's won a year. I think I've won 1 year. Ryan's won a year. It doesn't leave too many other ones. I think we only done it 4 or 5 years. So
I have lost every time.
Yeah, I haven't won. And I'm not going to win this year either, but I'm not worst, so I'm happy.
Next year's my year.
There you go. Now, speaking of next year, since this will be part of the next pick'em, what is going on with SummerSlam? Do we have any news on that? Like,
I haven't heard anything about SummerSlam
because
yet.
if there's going to be a crowd for WrestleMania,
Yeah, there'll be a crowd for SummerSlam.
yeah,
If they do it in Florida, for sure. Well, a lot of places are opening up, although now cases are on the rise again, so who the fuck knows? You know?
But it's like the places that are fully open, their cases are declining. So
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't get it. I hate everything.
well, it's.
I'm about to move to the States, though.
Yeah, you are. Where?
Well,
You coming to New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut?
I was thinking like Hawaii.
Oh well, there you go.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come. I'll come visit
Yeah,
for sure in a way.
I will definitely go to Hawaii.
There you go.
I was all happy. I was like, "Oh, you're moving to the States?" Like, no, she's staying in Toronto. Like,
Yes, Ryan. We know he refused.
I like how that was on the screen. That's
fucking
great.
asshole.
He had to get that dig in there. He had to.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah. So I guess is the spoiler that me and Ryan are tied? Are we tied? Me and him?
I think you guys are tied. Yeah.
We're like it's a dead heat going into the last week of pay-per-views.
Luckily, you have 17 pay-per-views to pick from.
Right.
I could make my comeback right now in these next 4.
Well, I mean, look, we got Stand.
That's true. We have a lot of time here. A lot of
Stand and
shows.
Deliver and 2 nights of WrestleMania, so that's 4 nights right there. Yeah.
Gotta get them perfect though, and you guys all have to get 0.
Hey, with the NXT stuff, it's a pure guess for me. I can't, I've picked my side in the Wednesday Night War, and I don't watch NXT now. I'll watch NXT again because it's on Tuesday. Like that's, I think most people will.
Yeah.
But now that's interesting because the NXT thing, because Eric was talking about in the chat. He's obviously not on the show today, but in the chat earlier today, Eric was saying that. And I agreed with him. Hopefully with this move to Tuesday nights, NXT goes back to what made NXT on the WWE network work, and what made got a lot of buzz around it and all the the good response. Not that the show is bad. It's just again, when you're specifically putting a show up against another show, and you're kind of booking we got to have a big main event because they have a big main event, or a title match. We're gonna put the women in the main event because these guys have the women in the main event. When you're doing that shit, you lose sight of like your product. So hopefully the Tuesday night they get back to their shit, and then AEW, same deal. It'll be very interesting to see. With generally on Wednesday nights, there's 1.5-ish million people that watch. Between the two shows. Does that mean NXT on Tuesday could get 1 million viewers or 1.5 million, and AEW could get 1 million and 1.5 million? Or do you think both of them will still just have their 600, 700,000? And is there a crossover of people who want to watch one show or the other, but are being prevented?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think they're gonna get like I don't know. Because some AEW fans are like hardcore, like anti-WWE.
Oh yeah, and the same goes the other way too. Because like there's some people in, oh man, this one awful Facebook group I'm on, they just say all these terrible. It's like AEW just has WWE's leftovers. And then you're like, well, who's AJ Styles? And all these fucking guys remember. Like, come on now, we can't play that game.
So
it's
stupid.
Like, one guy plays for the Red Sox, now he plays for the Yankees. He's not as good. Why? Like, what the fuck?
I hate that.
Well, Steve,
I hate people.
Yeah, we got about 7 minutes left here. What do we? Anything we need to?
Let's see.
I know you've got the
list. We actually pretty much on my notes we've seemed to have covered. We haven't really talked much about AEW. I thought it was another solid show.
They're just putting on solid shows now.
Yeah.
Wednesday nights.
Really, I mean, they're great. That promo with Britt Baker was fantastic. Talking about the match that she had with Thunder Rosa. So I thought that was great. And I really love her progression. It's just really fun to watch. I thought another solid promo with what are they calling themselves? Freeman's crew.
Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle. Thank you. Fucking Christ, brain fart. Yeah, the Pinnacle. I'm very big on the Pinnacle.
Yep.
Not sure why they're not going the Horseman route, quite honestly. Because I feel that's kind of what it is. I mean, even if you look at the promo video or their entrance video, it's like the limos and the jet flying and like, all right, so why aren't we just doing like this is Horseman 2.0?
Yeah.
The Pinnacle, listen, I like the name The Pinnacle. So, I mean, if that's the route we're going, all right, cool. I think all of them are fitting their roles perfectly. They're all cutting solid little promos. MJF is just solid on the mic. He is just absolutely one of the best on the microphone in that company for sure. And I'm a big fan. I love him as a heel. I don't know that I'd ever want to see him face. He's just
I
so
don't
good at
think
making
he
you
has
want to
it.
punch him in the face. What was that?
Does he even know how to be face?
That's a great question. I don't know that I've ever seen him as a face anywhere, quite
Well,
honestly.
he did the singing and dancing thing, but that was still kind of a heel thing.
Yeah. I can't see him as a face.
No. Somebody would have to be more unlikable than him, and that's just not possible.
Yeah.
But he's doing a good job. The one thing I'm not concerned about, the one thing I assume may happen with this guy is he's so good at talking that he's going to end up being a manager rather than you know what I mean? Like, I know he's still 25 and he's still in good shape and all that, but there's going to come a point where they're like, dude, you're so good at this talking thing. We're just going to have you manage guys instead of wrestle. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully not, because he's talented both ways.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, he's a young guy like that is a good thing to have in your company.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes, I mean, for all of those guys, I mean, Ray Phoenix is putting on some of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's insane.
Lucha Brothers are out there just,
Well,
back
and
to
now they're doing Penta really versus Cody, which I'm loving that.
yeah. Oh, with Alex Abrahantes translating what Penta says.
Right.
That shit's
Great. It's fantastic. It works. I mean, really, everything they're doing just is working. And people are online saying, oh, it's WCW. So what?
But
There was a
that's
time
why I
that
like
WCW was fucking great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the way that it's being shot and the way they're doing certain things. Yeah, it's fucking WCW. And it's okay. Like, you don't have to knock it. You know, to hear Tony Schiavone and have Sting, I just shit like that, man. It's just I absolutely love everything about AEW. I
And,
do.
like,
I
even
love what they're
Sting-
doing, and I love the pairing of Dean Ambrose and
Kingston?
Oh, and Eddie Kingston.
and
Hell
Eddie
yeah.
Kingston is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those I love just those two guys sitting there talking to each
shit.
other. It's a broken thing. He points, his foot's all broken, wrapped up in a cast. He goes, "It's a broken thing." Fuck Eddie, okay. Dr. Eddie Kingston. No, I want them to have a tag team title run. I think that could be fun
Mm-hmm.
with those two guys. Because I don't know,
And I also like how they're working with Impact Wrestling.
Yep.
You know, they're working with another company. They're both showing on, you know, it's like I don't just shit like that. I love that kind of
And they have
shit
their
because
two
you get
world
to see things and right.
facing each other eventually.
Jericho, I mean, you can't go wrong. And now that faction's going to be a face, which once they make their return is going to be fun to watch. You know, even like the Luchasaurus and all them, I just, they're all entertaining. They're all fun to watch. If you're not watching AEW, shame on you. You should be checking them out. They really are fantastic. And on that note, folks, we have hit the top of the hour.
Ah, boy.
That went fast.
Yeah, it did. Especially, I mean, I got here a little late. I apologize again. Blame Apple Store in the West Farms Mall for taking an hour and a half to get me a new phone. Anyway, yeah, if you're watching AEW as we close out today, not only did Jungle Boy and the Jurassic Express get the Baltimore song Tarzan Boy as their song, but as of Monday on AEW Dark Elevation on YouTube, Orange Cassidy has the song Where Is My Mind by the Pixies as his entrance music. And if you don't know what song that is, if you've ever seen Fight Club, it's the song that plays at the end credits when the thing is blowing up. Spoiler alert for a 20-some-year-old movie. But it's great. Good song. The music is fun. Like, all of the AEW music is fun. Because, like we were saying with Pinnacle, it sounds like the old Four Horsemen music that WCW used to use. And the video is them coming out of the private plane and getting into a limousine. And it's very cool. So, yeah, definitely check it out. AEW's program this week is going to have a arcade anarchy match with all the arcade machines around the ring, and they're going to be slamming guys into the arcade machines. So that'll be fun. We'll talk about all that and more next week, right here on the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first only dating site exclusively for fans of pro wrestling. You can follow us on social media at TagMeADate, TagMeADate, no spaces.
Since you brought it up, I figured play a little Pinnacle
Oh,
as
yes.
we
Oh,
close
okay,
out the
yes.
show. But you are right. Now that you say it, it does sound similar to what the Horseman music was, which was just great music. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can continue to close. I just
Oh, very cool. Yeah,
throw that out there.
Steve. I thought you were making an extra special announcement. I'm like, oh, Steve's setting us up for something.
Oh, I wish.
Follow us on social media at TagMeADate. That's TagMeADate, no spaces. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, etc., etc., etc. It's all at TagMeADate. YouTube.com. Go to the search bar, type in TagMeADate, all one word. You'll find our channel. Hit subscribe, hit the bell. Twitch.tv/War Report if you want to watch on Twitch. And if you prefer the audio version rather than a video stream, you can go to Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Play Podcasts. Look up either TagMeADate or the War Report. You will see our icon come up. Ryan is very efficient in taking the audio from our 7 p.m. Tuesday evening show and getting it up Tuesday night for the audio listeners. So if you like to listen when you're at the gym or cleaning around the house or whatever it is, and you don't want to watch a video, you just want to listen, go to your favorite podcast app. You can download every single week and get that audio version. But if you like watching the live streams, stick with us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter/Periscope, all that good stuff on Twitch. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time for another edition of the War Report. And it's going to be the build up to WrestleMania. So we'll see where our last thoughts are before the big whole. I was going to say the big show, but it's big shows, multiple shows, multiple Paul Whites. All right, but that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Have a nice week.